Hello, my name is John Orr, Director of Home Mission. I want to thank you for being a part of Revive Us Again this year. Unfortunately, we had to go virtual because, of course, the COVID situation, and we had to do the same thing last year. But Lord willing, next year we will be live at the Brown Street Church of Christ in Waxahachie, Texas. I hope you've enjoyed listening to the speakers this year, and my subject is Home Mission, Can You Feel the Excitement? The reason this was given to me is because obviously we've been involved in a lot of exciting things with Home Mission even during the COVID lockdown. And so I want to share with you some of that excitement today with Home Mission. Can you feel the excitement? First of all, we're now up close to 300 churches in 42 states that we have worked with in some way or another. We have either worked with them physically, we have sent them materials, we have helped in other ways, and we gave out even several $1,000s worth of materials last year, as well as going to some of the churches, as many as would allow us to come in and work with them in a workshop during the COVID pandemic. We've already started working with other churches this year, and of course next month we will be going out and doing a lot of, we will be going to Indianapolis and Iowa and other places as well. We're getting new evangelists in. Unfortunately, we have lost one of our good evangelists, Brother Jack Cummings, who passed away with the COVID pneumonia and just a couple of weeks ago, and we are very sad that that has happened. But more evangelists are coming on board, and more congregations are calling us to come and work with them at this time. And so we are blessed by God, privileged to be able to work with as many congregations in this country to rebuild the church, to help congregations get the training, the equipping, the encouragement, and to evangelize alongside with these congregations. Much work is being done all over the country, even while we speak. We also have developed something new along with the many things that we have had in the past. We call it the Great Commission DNA Project. What is it? It is a 3-year agenda designed to restore the Great Commission back into the churches of Christ in America. One thing we've seen all over the country is that people quote the Great Commission, but not many people actually do it. If the church is going to grow again in the United States, we have to get back to the fundamentals of what Jesus said, go and make disciples. And so we've developed material and curriculum that will help a congregation grow gradually over a period of 3 years in order to bring the Great Commission to life in their lives and in the church. Jesus took 3 years to develop his disciples before he sent them into all the world and gave them this charge. Churches only change about 10% a year. And this is designed to change at least 30% of the congregation to become soul winners. If we can do that, then the church will double and triple in every place. And so we have to change our DNA. Our DNA is that which is structured and a part of us and that which we have become over a long period of time. There are a lot of things that we do right in the church, but we need to do this. And if we do this, then we will be able to defend the faith more accurately and more readily and be able to reach a lot more people for Jesus Christ. What does a church receive for participating in this? Well, there are 6 workshops conducted over a 3 to 5 year period by one of our home mission evangelists. We go to your congregation and work with you. These include the launch session, which helps begin the process of growth, followed by 6 months later or so, the Circle of Influence workshop. Circle of Influence is working with all the people around you. It is said that the average person has relations in some way with over 80,000 people in their lifetime. Then the next one is the higher ground giving workshop. Congregations are really struggling right now in their giving, and this is a very timely workshop, but it's also very important in the growth and life of any congregation. Then next comes the workshop called The Rest of the Story, Evangelism Training. It's a very simple evangelistic method that we teach that anyone can use and teach other people the gospel. Then the One Heart, One Mind workshop, which is a singing and worship improvement workshop. And then finally, Bible Study Digging Tools, which is a how to study the Bible workshop. And those are the 6 ones that we usually do. Now, some congregations may need emphasis on other things that we do, and that's okay. The congregation that we go to will tell us what they want. And we do not get involved in any decision-making process. Now, along with that are weekly articles that will be handed out over a 3-year period. The first year is called 50 Ways to Love the Father. They are also used for new Christians as well. The second year will be articles called 50 Ways to Save Your Neighbor. And the third year, handed out every Sunday, will be 50 Ways to Make a Visit. These are designed to change the congregation over a period of 3 years. And along with this are quarterlies that a congregation can use in its Bible classes when we are not here. The first 2 quarters, of course, are the foundations for disciples. And we teach them, and we teach the congregation the foundations in the launch session. And then for 2 quarters, they go through the book themselves, and after every 3 lessons, they practice on each other to get used to holding Bible studies with other people. The next quarterly is called Who's in Charge, which is the authority of Jesus Christ. In Matthew chapter 28, verse 18, Jesus said, "All authority is given unto me in heaven and on earth." People do not have the right to change the authority of Jesus in the way he set up his church or in any other way. And having Jesus in charge of our meetings, our lives, our prayers, and our families will change us, and will change us drastically over a period of time. The next one is bringing in and keeping young families. One of the first things that people ask of us is, how do we get young families to come into the church? And so the next quarterly is entitled that is designed for you to go through in a quarter and learn how to bring in young families. The next quarterly is leadership in the 21st century. Many of the congregations that we work with do not have elders. We have to begin developing and training men to be elders and deacons for the future. Then the next one is successful Bible classes. Bible classes are important today because most parents do not train their children, and so they need training of some kind. And so these Bible classes help in many different ways, help establish teacher, curriculum, the room, and other things that are needed in order to have successful Bible classes. Improving your worship is the next one, the next quarterly that is given out. And of course, every church can improve their worship. How to keep and mature new Christians is very important for any congregation. As they begin having baptisms, the whole congregation needs to be involved in helping and keeping mature new Christians. Then in the third year, All In will be one of the quarterlies, which is designed to increase church participation. We must do away with the 80-20 syndrome, in which only 20% of the congregation is doing 80% of the work and giving 80% of the contribution. We have to change that, and All In is a good quarterly to go through for a 13-week period. Evangelism training is next for another 13-week period, followed by effective outreach and planning, and then closed by evangelism strategies. We want to prepare a church every way and in every way, whether we're there or not, to be able to do evangelism, to turn the congregation into soul winners for Jesus, and to begin growing the church again, instead of having over 70 churches close their doors every year in America. We also have additional books and tools for training, like with youth and other things, assistance for working and planning. And you can call our evangelists at any time that work with you. You may get more than one evangelist that may work with you. And at the end, if you want to do a door knocking campaign, we have 4 groups around the country that are willing and able to do that with you if you so desire. Now, which churches can qualify to participate? Any Church of Christ in the United States that follows the biblical pattern and the authority of Jesus Christ and of the first century church. It can be a church of 2 members or 2,000. We have worked with both. What does it cost to participate and to receive all this literature for your congregation? Well, it costs nothing. Donations are always appreciated. And for our small churches and our churches that support the work of Home Mission, there is certainly no charge. What is the commitment if a church decides to participate in the DNA project? Well, if you don't like the first workshop, you don't have to go on with any of it, or you can just pick and choose what you would like. We'll work with you. But we hope that once you start, you will stick to it for the 3, or if it takes 5-year period, and to have the leadership to follow through. We can't afford to waste our time and resources if congregations won't follow through with these things. Now, we don't consider it a waste of time to go anywhere, even if the congregation doesn't want to go forward. But we hope and pray, since this is going to be a very expensive endeavor, and since we are supported by dozens of churches and individuals, we do hope that you will take advantage of all the work that has gone into this and use it for your efforts in your congregation and for the glory of God. What will be the results of participating? We can't guarantee any results. Churches change in a 3 to 5 year period. But if you'll stick with it, we can guarantee obedience to God, we can guarantee church growth, and we can guarantee a more unified church among the Lord's people. What will be the result of this? We pray that a congregation will be able to go forward and do the Lord's work. This is one of the most exciting things that we have developed at Home Mission over the last year while having to go through the lockdown. Our next thing that we're very excited about is the Elders Net. The Elders Net is a quarterly publication for elders by elders. And we hope and pray that this will be a great tool for elders. If we can continue to go in that direction and we can continue to put that out, we can see that elders will be benefited by that. Currently, there's close to 200 elders from 15 different states that are already being benefited by the Elders Net. If you're an elder and you would like to contribute to this, as far as articles are concerned, please contact Ray Triplett at the West Hill Church of Christ in Cleburne, Texas. Another exciting thing that we want to share with you is our School of Evangelism. We plan to begin in the fall of 2022. It's under the direction of the elders of the West Freeway Church of Christ in Fort Worth, Texas. Our brother Jack Cummings was going to be the director over the school, and we already had many teachers lined up. But Brother Cummings passed away. However, it wasn't long before God sent us another qualified man, Brother Chris Graham, to be able to be the director of the school. He has 20 years of preaching and 20 years of teaching. And he is from a very evangelistic family. I believe his father was a preacher, and he attended Bear Valley School of Preaching, and also during the time they had their 3-year course, and the 3rd year was dedicated primarily to evangelism and missions. Well, the School of Evangelism will depend on the churches primarily in the Metroplex. However, I've talked with other churches that would like to support the school. It will require 5.5 months of training in teaching and training in the school, and then 6 months to a year of working in the field as an outreach minister for the church that supports them. And that church can be anywhere in the United States. And they can't graduate unless they're successful in bringing people to Christ. We look at the school in 2 ways. One, our universities and many of our schools of preaching do not teach evangelism, and if they did teach it, it would only be for a course or two, and they wouldn't get the training that they really need. We need evangelists out in the field, not just speakers and preachers. Paul said in 2 Timothy 4 to Timothy, do the work of an evangelist. Evangelists are not only to win souls themselves, but they, like the elders, are commanded to equip the congregation or the saints in the work of ministry. And one of the greatest works of ministry is outreach. And so the School of Evangelism will be offered, Lord willing, next fall in 2022. And then Revive Us Again will be the next, you're listening to it now this year, but we hope that next year, March 23rd through 26th, that it will be held live at the Brown Street Church of Christ in Waxahachie, Texas, just south of Dallas, outside its city limits. Be a lot easier for people in Texas to attend, and in Oklahoma, Arkansas, as well as if you have to come in by flight, you'll be able to do that and get to Waxahachie in a much more timely manner. We appreciate so much the Faith Village Church of Christ in Wichita Falls, Texas, for hosting the first 2 years of Revive Us Again. Now, all the things that I just talked about, what does it cost? Well, actually, there's no charge for any of these things. Donations are always appreciated. We need more churches involved in supporting Home Mission and supporting students. And we pray that all of this work will result in not a few souls, but eventually tens of thousands of souls brought to Christ in training preachers and equipping them for the work, and also in equipping the congregations we work with. It's time to get back and to restore New Testament Christianity in this nation once more. We do have to charge for the next 2 items, however. The next one is the Great Commission Evangelism Training Camp. This will be our first one, and it'll be held in October 10th through 16th at Camp Pettyjohn Springs near Madill, Oklahoma. The cost is $350 per adult. It will be for adults only, and we pray that a lot of preachers and elders will come to it, as well as members, men and women, and learn how that they can be more effective in evangelism. It will be a 3-tier, 3-year camp. The first year will be very basic, and it will be how to get a Bible study, how to actually conduct and deliver a Bible study that is interesting. The third will be the Bible study itself, and the fourth will be follow-up to a Bible study, especially if they don't obey the gospel as you present the Bible study to them, and what to do after they have obeyed the gospel. The second year will be more intense, and the third year will be more intense, including being taught for preachers how to preach expository sermons in that week's time. And so we hope to build something that will be very lasting for many, many years to come. And then the next event will be this September, Lord willing, around at the end of the first full week in September, called Equip. It will also be held at the Brown Street Church of Christ in Waxahachie, and you might say it's a Bible teacher's workshop. We will give you more information about that coming very soon. We're excited about being a part of this Equip workshop. Need help? If you're a congregation seeking assistance, go to HomeMission.org and fill out the assistance form. We now require all congregations that do need help to not orally tell us that they want help, but for the leaders to go online and to fill out the request form so that we know that the church is on board with the assistance that we're providing. And we want to help as many congregations as we possibly can, whether it's the Home Mission, the Great Commission DNA project, or whether it's with materials or whatever it may be. And do you want to help? You say, this is a great work, and we want to be involved in it in some way or the other. Well, there's a way that you can be involved in it, whether physically, financially, or as a church or as an individual. If you want to get more involved, go to HomeMission.org, and there's a way that you can sign up to get involved. Or if you're a congregation or an individual with questions, call Tommy Simonton. He is our Director of Outreach at 817-372-4565. Tommy will be happy to talk to you. If you want him to come and present Home Mission to your congregation, he or one of our evangelists will be more than happy to do that as well. We're very excited about the work of Home Mission. We've now begun our 7th year. And we've seen so many exciting things through all of this. Some congregations have doubled, some have tripled. We've seen many people that have been baptized. I talked with a brother from Iowa just a few minutes ago that told me that he had another person that was baptized into Christ. And during the last year COVID problem, he had 20 people that came to Jesus Christ. Great work can be ahead if we can all work together. And here's the secret. We may plant, we may water, we may harvest, but it is God that gives the increase. And that's the most exciting thing about home mission. It's just our mission at home. If we don't build up our mission at home, foreign missions are going to continue to dilapidate. Missionaries are having to come home by the dozens because they don't have the support. We need to rebuild the congregations, and some have already gotten to that point to where we're supporting foreign missions and missions where the church in America is not strong. We need to get back to doing that. And so that's our goal at Home Mission, is to build up the church in our own backyard. And folks, that's exciting. We hope that you'll want to be a part of it in some way. We hope that you'll give us a call. We hope you've enjoyed the Revive Us Again workshop, though it's been online. And we look forward to seeing you at Equip or Revive Us Again next year. Now may the Lord bless you and keep you, and may His face shine upon you always and be gracious. Thank you, and God bless.